Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, December 16th. This is our last session before the Christmas holiday, and we will be dark until January the 3rd. Actually, I'm not sure we'll be back January the 3rd. I'll have to check. No, that's right. New Year's Day holiday, bank holiday is going to be Friday the 31st, so we will be back on the 3rd. Troy will be back in on the 3rd. I should be back in by the 4th. I'm due to come back in Monday night about 10:30. So I should be in here Tuesday morning. Good morning, Miles. All right. YM is currently flat, and the market's just opened. Crude oil had a short setup at 2 seconds after our start time this morning, 9 o'clock. Soybeans with an add-on long trade, it looks like. No, it looks like that hit target 1 before our start time, so that's not going to be a valid trade, unfortunately. So soybeans is flat, waiting for its first trade. YM looking for its first setup. Crude, this short was too quick to execute on the initial touch of the entry, and then it went up to and stopped out without hitting the entry again, so that trade is avoided. So our first trade of the morning is long off the SMA. That's the blue trade, or if you're still running default calculator on NinjaTrader, it's probably red. And that triggered in, came back, stopped and reversed at its full stop with key level adjustments at 71.54. Stop and reverse adjustment plus key level adjustment brought that entry to 71.54 on the short, and that's where we are now, is short from 71.54 on crude. Soybeans on a strong up move right now. Unfortunately, nothing that we can do with it. And there's the first trade of the morning from him. And hitting money management, I don't know if that went, I think that may have gone through too fast. 31. And it's about 22 seconds for the bar, but it may have come through the entry too fast to catch. I'm still having some slowdown issues. Yeah, it might be. Yesterday, it was very solidly on still on January. Let's see what. Yep, it's rolled over. So yes, we should be on the February contract. You're correct. We got about twice the volume in February. So there's target one in money management if you're on the January contract. And target two. And my charts are running behind. This machine is just getting bogged down when I try to go with online, with it streaming online. So my new laptop should be here sometime over Christmas. So we'll get that up and running, and hopefully that will solve the slowdown issues. Runs fine when I'm not streaming, but when I try to stream, apparently is a little too much for this processor. So let's take a look at the February contract, see what it did. That would be a POQ. We only lost 18 ticks. So down 36. And we got targets 1 and 2. And that would mean, in all likelihood, unleaded has done the same thing. Unleaded was one and done this morning on the January contract. Looks like we had 18 and 28, so 46. So we were net positive 10 ticks on the January contract for crude. All right. So that will have to update the chart. Let's see what. It's not the one. This is the one I want to look at. No, actually, volume is still very slightly on January on unleaded. That's unusual for it to roll after. All right, so while the February contract is loading on crude, let's go look at the 9 o'clock start on unleaded. All right, looks like our first trade of the morning would have been long, and that would have gone targets 1 and 2, it looks like. 90102. No short on this one for 14 and 23, 37 ticks. So one and done on the February crude contract. Thank you, Miles, for pointing that out. January unleaded contract. Actually, it didn't go one and done. It didn't quite get to target 2. So it just got a partial on the first trade. First trade was this trade off the 200 EMA. So those of you that have the diamond level trades could have had that printing on your chart, and anybody else can draw those in. Soybeans goes short, hits target 1 on the nose, and comes back and stops out for a single tick. So 3 ticks on the other positions. Looks like target 1 position. Looks like 9 ticks, so 12 ticks net on the day. And soybeans is one and done. And the YM. That hit. Did its thing quickly for a one and done session. Now it's in a 200 short off the 200 EMA that's now stopping and reversing to long. But those are after we are already POQ on that market, so we will leave those alone. Okay, second trade on unleaded was a long that was a full stop out. And we pick up a short. It looks like it's going to, doesn't know where it's going. Looks like we're kind of in a consolidation here. That's a stop and reverse that did not actually trigger and does cancel. Triggered unadjusted and hit stop. So we are still in the short. Still in the original short. That got to this money management of the new short, but not the original short. Our original trade is way back here. All right. And the YM doing another target one and stopping out on the long. Soybeans is one and done. Heating oil took an initial stop out. And if you're trading it one and done or requiring a break even or winner on or a positive trade on the first trade, then that trade plan is complete. Second trade is a short that went break even. See where we end up on unleaded this morning. So far it's short. Stop is at 1511, I believe. Yeah, the stop is the same for the prior. Actually, is it? Yeah, stop is the same. No, stop is 1512, and we are current now. So in the short, still in that original short. Unleaded back in this short back here. Actually, no, that's not. No, excuse me. Yeah, that was the second one. We're in the short back here. Entry at 1446, stop at 1512. And got to bring that down a minute and get the data box where I can use it. All right, and a target 3 on heating oil. That's the catapult chart. ZS plan is all 3 targets. It's a 4-position trade, taking all 3 targets. And yes, the primary objective is target 1. I would have to look at that. Let's see what the risk reward was on that trade. The reward was 9 ticks. The risk was a little bit higher than that. But it's not a trade you're taking just on that one, just a 2-position trade. All right, your risk on that was 15. So it's about 1.6, 1.3, yeah, 1.6, 1.7 to 1. Or actually, it's a little, no, it's the other way around. It's like points risk to reward to risk is about 0.6. So it's not quite as high as a 1-to-1 risk reward. And heating oil stopping out on that. 1, 2, third. That would be third trade. Setting up a 4th trade now as a short. Loss, break even, win. but that's also a fairly small trade, so risk reward is tends to be thrown off a little bit. But then you get the risk rewards. You know, 0.6, 0.93 at target 2, 1.33 at target 3. So unleaded is still stuck in that original short trade. Still with money management at about 397, 1397. All right, what have we got going? Another heating oil break even on the short side this time. Crude kind of going sideways, or unleaded going sideways, oscillating around the 50 EMA. Okay, can unleaded push down through the 200 EMA? That's going to be the question. Definitely seems to have support there. There's messy price action today. All right. Crude pushing down and unleaded hitting money management. And target is down at 1360. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, we did survive. Got close up to the stop, but didn't hit it. So our stop now should be at on the unleaded trade. Let's see, balance line is at 1425, so we should be at 1427. Take that to 1428 or 29 maybe because of the session open. And it looks like we did stop out. Yep, definitely stopped out. We're getting to 1429. But that's our second money management trade, so that is POQ. And the 10 o'clock session. Yep, we did pick up that short. Targets 1 and 2. Crude on the 10 o'clock session on the February contract. So this short is valid. Because our start time comes right along over in here, and trade is still valid at that point. Our start time actually is right in on during that bar right there. So we had 3 bars within our start time before it actually triggered in. So that comes in and hits targets 1 and 2, and actually target 3 as well, but 1 and 2 for 42 ticks. And a one and done session. And we're heating oils in its, looks like its 5th trade, I believe. Has reached money management and trying to reach target 3. So that completes unleaded. YM, both crude mini sessions, unleaded, soybeans, all POQ in a rather messy price morning. Any questions this morning? Or any more questions this morning? Let's take a look at what soybean oil. Let's look at volume on soybeans and bean oil. Yeah, soybeans is still on the January contract. Let's check bean oil. And target 3 hit on that 5th heating oil trade. Okay, bean oil looks like it rolled over, looks like yesterday, or maybe even, no, it didn't quite get to 50,000. Yeah, it didn't get to 50,000 in January. So yeah, it looks like we rolled over several days ago on bean oil. Yeah, rolled over just within the last day or two. So we should be on March contract here. And I will change this over. That trade is that's assuming you're just taking target 1, Don. If you're taking all 3 targets, the average of those is not going to have to be nearly that. If you're just hitting target 1, yes, I agree with you. But with the target 2 at what was it, 0.93 or 0.96, and target 3 at 1.33 on that particular trade. And we up with the 4 positions getting not 9 but 12 ticks out of it, so it actually ends up being 0.8 when you've got 4 positions on. No, it wouldn't be that quite that much, because you're still 15 per position, and you only end up with 1 each on the other 3 positions. But yeah, just at target 1, I agree with you. But with the other 2 targets, you're going to have higher risk reward ratio. And soybeans is not unusual to get a really strong runner, and it's also a fairly rich market at $12.50 a tick. At least the January contract on soybean would have been no trade so far this morning, because the trade it just recently stopped out of was actually too early for us to get into. It was well before our start time. And heating oil starting to trail up on this long trade. And there's the March contract, and wait for. It doesn't look like we had any trades yet. Because it's been the one crossover we had left the setup above the 14 EMA, which actually filters it out, because the setup would have to be below the 14 EMA to be a valid short. Okay, the only we haven't looked at yet is what the micro ES 5-minute chart on Catapult has done. Now there's a nice little trailer on heating oil. Okay, micro ES looks like that actually would be the 935 bar on my chart, which is the 835 bar at exchange time. So that would be a valid setup. The reason it's not tracking is because on the next bar it both hit the stop and the entry, so the calculator doesn't know how to handle it. If you were trading that and watching it, then you would know whether because if it just went and touched the stop before it triggered in, it's of no consequence to what we're doing, and therefore would still be a valid trade when it then came down and hit the entry. So it has actually hit 3 targets so far and would not have stopped out. Stop would be around 47.0850, it looks like. And crude making a strong up move there after hitting session lows, bouncing hard off the session lows and going right back up through the session open. It's been a fairly tight range today on crude. All right. Unless there are more questions, there really isn't a whole lot left to look at. And that micro ES trade would have just stopped out for a one and done session on the 835 session, and would be coming up on its 930 session, mini session. And Aussie this morning just being a back and forth mess. Okay, the EMA is at 471806 and 400896. So 470950 would be the stop. And it has gone well through that now. No, I don't have a new computer. Most likely is just my bandwidth is a little better with my provider this morning. But yeah, I will the next time I'm doing the room January the 4th, I should have a new computer on here, and I'm also doing work on my desktop at the moment, which is why I'm on my laptop. I'm glad to hear that they're looking good on your end. But that looks to be about it for today. It looks like, yeah, there is a 10:30 or 9:30 Central trade at 47:15 just hit the entry. So see if it is able to work up through the 500 the 50 EMA. That's what that gold line is on the chart, is the 50 EMA. But I don't think that typically is not a market that moves extremely fast. We'll look at it for a few minutes. But not going to stick around just to watch that one. We've already gotten POQ for 10 o'clock session on crude. So not in this current long trade. Well, that reminds me, I didn't look at heating oil to see if it rolled. Merry Christmas to you, Roger. Merry Christmas to everybody. Remember, no more trade rooms until January 3rd. Troy does have a round table or coffee table discussion scheduled on the Trade Hacking Club, introducing a new team member, stock options expert. That is scheduled for noon Eastern on the 29th. Check your email for an invitation. I hate that I'm going to miss that, but I'm going to be tied up that day. I can't get to the computer at the time. December 29th. And those of you that are interested in Troy's upcoming Russell E-mini catapult module, watch your emails for announcements on that. Is that you may be able to? He's probably going to start putting some things out about that over the holidays. And he's thinking he will be doing a boot camp on that new module sometime in January. All right, that gets my no, not quite yet. And heating oil stopping out. Merry Christmas to all. Happy holidays. And we'll see you in the new year. Good trading in the meantime. And have happy holidays and a joyous new year. Thank you very much, Pamela. You too.